Hi everyone, again this is Anto Chávez with Be Latina. Today we're going to be talking to another Latina staffer from the Biden campaign, and this time will be Luisana Pérez from Florida, who is Florida Deputy Communications Director. So it'll be really interesting, and we'll be having this kind of conversations every week until the election, because we really need to talk about the importance of the election, the importance of the Latina vote, and the Latinx vote, especially in states like Florida. So let's jump right in. Luisana should be on very soon. I just requested her to join the live. Um, and again, these are very important conversations that do stay on our page, and that you can send your friends and family who are undecided, who need some answers before they make an informed decision, who don't even know how they're going to go out and vote, and so they can make a plan and really know what's at stake, especially in Florida.
Hi,
Hi, friend. How are
how are
you?
you? Good.
You looking good.
I just got home, like running from somewhere else.
Yeah. Where are you in Florida? In Miami?
Miami, yes.
Okay. Well, let's jump right in. Um, why don't you tell us who are you? What's your role in the campaign? And yeah, what do you do for the Biden campaign every day?
So I'm the Florida Deputy Communications Director, and I focus on everything related to Hispanic media in the whole state, whether it's booking surrogates, creating messaging, and communicating the VP's plan to the Hispanic communities here in the state.
A lot of work. So
Yeah.
what what does an actual normal, if there are any normal days, look like for you?
Wow. There's no normal days in any campaign, I think. But it's a lot of, I think, um, creating messaging and creating like crafting messaging for each of these communities. As we know, and you are also very familiar with Florida, the Hispanic communities are so diverse. We have Cubans, Colombians, Venezuelans, Puerto Ricans. So for part of like our role every day is to make sure that every messaging that we are putting out there connects with these communities, because yeah, we are all Hispanics, we are all Latinos, but each of our communities have their own issues, and we have like our own accents, our own messaging. So part of my day is that creating that, putting the right people who are going to be on TV, on radio, and making sure that everybody's informed of like everything that the VP is doing, especially for the Hispanic community. So a lot of emails, a lot of calls. And now that we are very close to election day, and early voting is coming, just making sure that every day we are encouraging our people to vote early, and to make sure they have a plan to vote.
Right. And so I imagine it's a lot of trying to translate context besides just language. And this is difficult because it has to do with, like you said, the concerns of each one of those communities within the Latinx community and within Hispanics and Latinos and Latinas. So, what do you think is at stake, and why is it so important to get out the vote right now for this election?
Well, for us, for Latinos, there's a lot of stake. I think like what we have seen in the last 4 years, and the disrespect from this administration to our communities, and especially right now during the pandemic, when we know that our community is one of the most impacted by COVID. We cannot afford 4 more years of this president, and and like this is our time to make sure that the Latino community is the one that uh, closed the door for Donald Trump in November. I think Latinos have such a big role in this election. We are one of the largest bloc of voters, of minority voters in the United States. And we need to show that. We need to show that if we want respect, if we want our families to have a better life, if we want our community to succeed, we need change, and and we cannot have 4 more years of this. So there's a lot. I think me especially, I'm from Venezuela, as you, Anto, and and we know, like, we are seeing things in this country that we never seen before, that many people like us saw in our countries, and we are seeing that happening here in the United States, and it's in our power to stop that, to not let the history repeat again in our lives. So there's a lot in this election that Latinos need to consider if we really want to be part of the United States.
Right. And there's so much at stake, like you said. For some, that could be a lot of pressure, and as it is, campaigns are so much work and so many hours. So, what motivated you to join this campaign?
It is a lot of work. I think like we are all day working, all day like thinking, and you don't stop. People who join campaigns, I think they know they are going to do that, and but I feel that people working in campaign has like this passion that, like, it's very particular. It's just different, like each one of us, whether like for any community that you're coming, has something that it's gonna make a difference in the election. For me, this is actually my first year voting. I haven't, like, this is like my first
Yay!
time. Yay. So for me, it's also like, you know, making sure that with my vote and with my work, like with everything that I do every day, my community is represented and my community has a seat on the table. Like, it's like when you think that everything that, as we talked before, that everything that is in the line for us, whether it's healthcare or education or immigration, or just like jobs or the economy, when you think on that and how your community is impacted, you cannot stand, like, outside of it. So that motivated me to be in this campaign, and to be in politics, really. Like, it's not like the first time I join a campaign, and it's in there, it's not, and it's not gonna be. I always say, like, this is the last time, but it's not gonna be also the last time. uh,
This is the last time, and then the next one is the presidential one.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's something that it's like, I really like the politics, because you can see the change that you can create when with your work, and when you are out there talking to community, talking to the people, and making sure that that our community it's also motivated to vote.
Yeah, that's all awesome, and I know firsthand you actually do are in the ground on the ground talking to people. I would love to know, what do you think are some of the concerns in the Latinx community in Florida, particularly in the Venezuelan community, since you are part of it?
So I think a lot of Venezuelans right now, the humanitarian crisis has exacerbated in the last 2 years. We're seeing this big influx of Venezuelans coming to the U.S., and we're seeing a lot of people being like with like their immigration status is in like a limbo.
Mm-hmm.
And especially under this administration, many of them are being deported, many of them are being detained, or they are in the shadows. I feel that that they want a solution because, yeah, while we are fighting for democracy in Venezuela, we also need to protect people here. And many Venezuelans are need that help. They need to be protected because they cannot go back to Venezuela. They cannot go back to the crisis. They cannot go back to the Maduro regime. So TPS for Venezuelans, I know that there's a lot of people in the community looking for that. Uh, a lot of Venezuelans are also like the economy, like what's happening right now in the country, how many of them have lost their jobs
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic, or they don't have access to healthcare. So, and these are issues that are not specific to the Venezuelan community, but also to other communities. But here in South Florida, we are seeing like people, they want plans, they want proposals. They are seeing like the pandemic is never ending, and they want to know, they want leadership. They want a proposal like to help them to overcome together this pandemic. So the people are that's what the Latino community is talking about here in the state of Florida. How can we finally overcome the crisis, and I think we can like we need a leader. We need somebody with experience, like Joe Biden, who has a plan to overcome these times.
Yeah. And a lot of the things you're talking about and a lot of these issues are often um, just decided, people decide watching the debates, right? Like that's one of the things that are so important throughout the campaign, especially now that we're getting so close to it. And there's one coming up very, very soon. So, can you tell us about your expectations for this debate?
Yeah, I think tonight is gonna be very interesting. Senator Harris is gonna talk to the American people as like the same way that Joe Biden did or try. Um, but because that's what they have. They have offers and proposals for the people, and they want to explain what those plans are and what those proposals are. I think tonight we're gonna see that it's Kamala Harris. It's like the VP choice that the people wanted. This daughter of immigrants. So many people in our community are gonna see ourselves there, reflected in her person. And she's gonna be talking to all of us. She's gonna be talking to the American people about the issues that the people care about, and she's gonna be talking about the plans and what are the proposals that Biden Harris administration have for the people, because that's exactly what the American people want to hear.
Well, I am definitely excited for the debate. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah.
This is essential, especially for those who are undecided. But what about those who are already like, I'm voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? What are the opportunities, the volunteer opportunities that you have out there? How can they get involved?
So first of all, they need to have a plan to vote. Make your plan right now, vote early. Make sure that you have a plan, that your family has a plan, that your friend has a plan to vote this year. If you want to volunteer, phone banking, texting, we always have those opportunities specifically for Florida, but also other states. I know that there are people in other states calling to people in
Yeah.
Florida, and we're sending postcards or texting. So joebiden.com, you can find all the information about any events happening in Florida, or social media as well. Biden for Florida in Spanish on Twitter, Vamos Demócratas. We have all these events happening where you can also see great people like celebrities, like encouraging people to vote, but you also can do a lot of engagement, and you can like meet or like virtually meet other voters and just help us here in the ground. Uh, I just people need to vote early. I think like the first thing is people need to vote early. People need to have a plan to vote. Today, actually, we were opening our community victory centers across the state where people can like drive in and pick up yard signs, literature, and I was like very happy because the line of cars picking up yard signs, like people just like drive in, they open their trunk, and it was like there a lot of motivation, a lot of enthusiasm here in the state of Florida. So there are so many ways that people like can help and engage.
Yeah, and I think that's really good to know because a lot of people are concerned about COVID-19. We all are. So those ways of getting involved, either online or, like you said, picking up a sign, are, amazing. Just alternatives for those
Yeah.
people who are at risk and they just don't want to put their families in danger. So I think that's really important to highlight.
Yeah, especially for our community, and here in Florida, um, we like we are just talking to voters every day on like the different methods they have to vote, because yeah, that's how concerned the community. For those who like, I know that they can find also information in Spanish. They can go to voyabotar.com, and all the information about like your calling location, like you can put your address, your information, and it's gonna give you like all the options that you have to vote this year.
Wonderful. So thank you so much, Luisana, for joining us today at Be Latina. I just want to remind everyone, please share this video with your friends, with your family. This is how they get the answers that they need in order to, whether they need to make a decision or whether they're just ready to go and volunteer. So this is how they get the answers. This will live in our page and will exist for the months to come. And just this election is so important. So please, go out and vote and just volunteer. Here you go. All the options are here. Luisana
Yeah.
just laid them out for you. So thanks so much for joining us today, Luisana.
Thank you so much, Anto. It's so great to see you.
Yeah, un abracito.
Igual. Chao.
Ciao.